What's up, guys? Thanks so much for tuning into my review video today. Today I have two handcrafted Holman Collection Bibles. We have the large print thin line in brown goatskin, and we have the Verse-by-Verse edition in brown goatskin. These are two options that you may be considering, and I want to help you guys see the features of these Bibles and help you decide which one you might want to choose. So as we get into it, we'll first look here at the Verse-by-Verse Bible. So I'll set this aside for a second. This is the one I was most excited about. I've read some really good reviews on this Bible. Heard that this Bible had some really great quality paper. And I've had the Verse-by-Verse edition before in the burgundy calfskin, and it was an awesome Bible. But I was actually really shocked with the quality of this Bible. It's actually incredible. And so I'm going to show you guys here. Comes here in this paper folded wrap. Looks very nice. And then we will take the Bible out. So as we look here at the brown goatskin Verse-by-Verse edition Bible, it is a smooth texture grain. It doesn't feel super smooth like, say, the Zondervan NIV Premier Collection. However, it is a very tight, pebbly grain. And so it appears to be very high quality. The highest quality goatskin that I've seen out of Lifeway thus far. Great long ribbons, look beautiful. We have the gold stamping CSB with the logo. I don't know if that's like True North or whatever that is, but Holy Bible stamping, Christian Standard Bible, Holman. Looks super clean. It's awesome. The dimensions of the cover here, as we take out a measuring tape, we can see that it is about 7 1/4 by around 10 inches here. And so it's a wider Bible. The actual text block here is about 6 3/4. So this puts this Bible at pretty wide. It's a bit wider than most full-size Bibles. However, it does have some room in the margins for note-taking. So it's technically a wide margin verse-by-verse Bible. And so if that is something that you're looking for, I would encourage it. First impressions, man, it has this kind of stiffness that I really like, and thickness of the cover. This cover feels extremely thick and durable, and that is not something I can say a lot of Bibles in this price range have. I mean, we were just reviewing the Preaching Bible by Crossway, and around a similar price point, maybe even a bit more expensive, and it had a very thin cover made in China. But for a Bible like this that is printed in China, having such a thick quality cover is a really, really good thing. And so I was really surprised by that. Another thing that really stood out to me among maybe any premium Bible I've ever had is how flat this lays. And so here is the edge lining tab, which increases the durability of this Bible over a paste down liner. And as you open up here in Genesis, I don't know if you can see very well, but this is the edge line, and it, for the most part, will lay almost perfectly flat. And you can open up this Bible to the halfway point, and you can see there's nothing in this edge lining that is resisting. To me, this is near perfect on how flat it lays, how it opens up. So let's just go ahead and look here now at a few things before we get into the text. And so there is a gold perimeter line that looks beautiful. Here, the corner work, I would say, is maybe a 6 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's the best I've seen from Lifeway thus far, but I still think that it could look a bit better. There's no frayed edges or anything really coming out, but it doesn't look quite as well done as some premium editions by Skylar or even the Heirloom Collection by Crossway. And so that's something that could be improved upon. It does have a real leather liner in here. It appears to be calfskin and looks great. As we open the Bible up, I really love the paper that they put in these verse-by-verse editions. This is what appears to be a 36 GSM paper. It's a little on the rougher side, but it's great for writing. We have the verse-by-verse edition that people have grown to love with red highlighted verse numbers as well as chapter numbers, which I really like that. The verse-by-verse Pastor's Bible edition is all black, and some people might like that, but if you're using this Bible to preach or for ministry, I think having highlighted verse numbers really helps it stand out. So you got this nice quality 36 GSM paper. It does feel premium. It doesn't feel low quality by any means. It's just a little bit more on the coarser side. I wouldn't even say it's coarse. It's just not as silky smooth as some French milled paper that you might find in a 28 GSM Skylar Quintel. And so I really love it. Let's measure here the margins. And so the inner margin, you have just over 3/4 of an inch on the inner margin, but it's really not enough to take any significant notes. And then you've got an inch margin on the outer. And so plenty of margin space on the outer for taking some notes. The inner will be a little more challenging. The font size is a 10-point font, and it's, to me, 10-point font is perfection. It's the best size font for preaching, for personal study, for everything that you could want, unless you need a larger font because you have vision issues. To me, it's perfect. What else we have here? Ribbons. Ribbons are awesome. You got these thick, long, black, red, and yellow. Kind of reminds me of the German flag colors. This is what they decide to do in the CSB Bibles. I think they're great. Definitely better ribbons than anything we've seen in Crossway, including the heirloom editions. They're great. Who's this Bible for? This Bible's for anybody who wants a quality CSB edition that may be interested in preaching, ministry, taking notes. This will be your Bible. This is a great Bible. We even have here the references to the Old Testament in bold, as you can see here. I think that's a great touch. But just the readability of this Bible is phenomenal. Just looking here at the text, to me, you have more opacity on this paper with line matching, and the clarity of this text and the consistency of the black text is better than many premium editions that are double the price. And so that is something that a lot of people are kind of disturbed by when they're spending $250 on a Bible, is that there's some inconsistency in the pages and very paper or tissue paper thin 28 GSM lightweight pages. This is going to be a page that is more durable. It's more durable to ink. It's more durable to water. It's going to be some of the best paper that you can purchase, especially for this price range. And so this is the opacity, meaning the color here of the white is very dense and there's not a lot of bleed through over or ghosting, and much more so in this edition than many other premium editions I've had. So this Bible was phenomenal. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it an 8 overall. For the price range, I'd say it's a 10. It's really hard for just over $100 to beat the verse-by-verse edition. This may be the best CSB edition. I believe it's the best CSB edition that Lifeway makes. But it's probably up there with the top 2 or 3 best CSB Bibles that you can purchase. So I would highly encourage you to check out this Bible. It's beautiful, great goatskin, and amazing edition. So, hey guys, so as we look at the second part of this video, now I want to compare the verse by verse here that we just reviewed to the large print thin line edition. So we're gonna pull the large print thin line edition out, and I wanna tell you my first impressions of this Bible, and we're gonna get right into it. So there are some people who have made it clear that they do not like the cover of the large print thin line. Comparing it to the verse by verse edition, it does look a little bit cheaper. You can see here this goatskin is just on another level. However, I wouldn't say that it's bad. Some people say it's spongy, and as you bend it, you can see this curvature in there. Personally, especially considering it has a real leather liner, I don't see this cover as being a significant issue. But I would say, being a Bible that is a similar price range to the verse by verse edition, you are getting a much higher quality Bible here in the verse by verse than you are with the large print thin line. So as we open up the large print thin line, the size is going to be more the standard Omega or Quintel size. It's about 6.5 by 10. And so the actual text block is going to be 6.25 by 9.25. And so this is a really great size Bible for holding and using personally. However, there's a few things about this Bible that I think need some work. It is line matched here. I believe we have an 11-point font, which is great. But the actual paper quality, I think, is lacking quite a bit. There's quite a bit of bleed through. I can turn here to more of the poetic section. You can see here that for a Bible printed in China, this is pretty standard of what I'd say you would find in a regular Chinese printed cheap Bible. However, it's put into this brown goatskin, which is, I think if this Bible were in the price range of maybe $40, $45, it would be worth it. But for a Bible that is in the $100 price range or more, you can see here even a bit of inconsistency in the ink. It just bleeds through and doesn't really carry very well over. You can see some of that speckled inconsistency here. And so you can see that bleed through. There's no text on this page, and you can basically read the other side. Compare that to the verse by verse edition here. I'll try to find a page that's similar, but even just looking at a regular page, you can just immediately tell the difference. The verse by verse edition is just extremely high quality for that price range. So looking at the corner work, there is some frayed bits of leather. It looks cheaper. Like I said, the font size is good. We still have the same red accents, but this red here actually even appears to be a bit darker, a bit more muddied as well. And so overall, I would say the large print thin line is a bit of a miss. It still has great ribbons, 3 black, red, and yellow. I think they use the same ribbons on either edition. But this large print thin line is definitely not one that I would say is worth that price range. And so I do want to encourage Lifeway to consider doing a rendition of this Bible and updating it with more of the similar materials of the verse by verse edition here, potentially including that higher quality paper with less opacity and more consistency in the handcrafted collection. I mean, you can even see here, I have not hardly used this Bible at all. And this right here, there's already some leather that appears to be kind of like ripping or losing some of its color. very strange. Looking here at the verse-by-verse edition, it's just a gorgeous Bible. So this is really their, this is their main edition, I would say. I'm trying to think of the word for it. Their flagship, yeah, their flagship edition for Lifeway. I would highly recommend this Bible. Now, as we compare here, just the weight of the actual editions, I can show you here briefly that the large print thin line edition comes in at 1 pound, just over 1 pound. And so it's very lightweight, comparable to the size of the Omega or large print thin line by Crossway. And now as we look at the verse-by-verse edition, it's 2.1 pounds, so 1 pound heavier. You can still carry this Bible pretty easily. I'd say it is very similar to a Schuyler Quintel, except for its width. And just one more thing very briefly here, to show you the spine size. It is about 1 3/4 on its width. So pretty similar to Schuyler Quintel. And then in the large print thin line, it's just over 1 inch, 1 1/4 inches. So these are the two Bibles, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Please hit the like and subscribe for more content. And thank you so much for tuning in.